Hi, my name is Alan, and I'm sitting in my 2024 Dodge Daytona Scat Pack EV, and it's time for a new video. And maybe you've wondered when you got your 2024 EV that you could have the Fratzonic exhaust playing if you put it into drag, or you could also do it when you put it into track. But if you put it into anything else, you sort of lost the sound. And the other issue is, as you may recall, if you're into drag or into track, you're getting very, very poor range. And so most people probably put it into auto. That tends to give you the maximum range. So the question then becomes, how do you end up driving it in normal everyday manner as if you were in auto, but you still have the sound? Stay tuned. So how do we get that fantastic sound for those of us that like it, driving around town in track mode, using up a lot of energy according to the system, but we'd rather have it in auto and have that sound? So how do we do that? So we're just going to show how the screen will change. So now we're back on the main screen, and this one is basically set up for electric vehicle. And what we want to do is we want to go to dashboard. And from dashboard, we want to go to drive modes. And from drive modes, we can see how we can set up all these different ones: drag, track, sport, wet, snow, and custom. What you have to do is go to custom. And when you go to custom, you want to set up custom setup. And so when you look at this, this is the way I have mine set up now. And the problem that I ran into was that when you first see this, you don't necessarily see the track on and all this kind of stuff. You see whatever you want. You can change all of these. But at the top it says propulsion, paddles, traction, suspension, and steering. So when you look at some of the YouTube information, or stuff comes from Stellantis, they say you go to the screen and you change the sound. So there should be something here that says Fratzonic, or something here that says sound. Unfortunately, when they mean propulsion, they mean Fratzonic sound. And maybe back in the day it said propulsion sound and they never put it in. I don't know. I wasn't there to design this. But if you put track when you have propulsion, you're not changing it to track when you're driving it. You're changing the sound. I can change the sound to sport simply by moving this to sport or street, which is basically nothing at all, right? So if you want to have that sound while you're driving around and not be in drag or track, you push track. Okay, so now we have this set up for custom mode setup. So now we come to the paddles. So in discussing the paddles, right now my car shows that it is on auto, and it also shows that my range, I don't know if it's visible, is 373 kilometers. By the way, if anybody remembers, we're in Canada, not the US, so we're using kilometers. So if I now want to change it to the sound that I've now set up on custom, I have to move these paddles here. That's one way of doing it, down here. And I want this to show custom. It so happens that is 2 away from auto. And I don't know if you can hear the difference, but it now shows on custom. And it also shows that the kilometers are where are we here? 372, because I've been running it for a while. So that shows me the exact same range, whether I have it in custom. I'm going to go back on these paddles to auto, 1, 2, and that gives me auto, and then I've got it set up over here for the 372. So there's no difference in the range. By comparison, if I move this over by moving these paddles 2 more, and I'm actually now in track. Okay, so that would be the sound in track, and you see my range has now gone down to 279 kilometers. I haven't moved, but that's what it shows. So if in the past I've had to keep it like this driving in town, I like the sound, but I'm using up too much energy by doing that. Why would I want to do that? Everything that you read, if you've looked into it, it tells you to change the sound on that screen I showed you before. And unfortunately, nothing there will do that. So I'm hoping that this video has been helpful. I'm going to put this back to custom. There we go, 2 more. Okay, here we're back on custom. And I'm back on my range. And now you can drive around town if you wish, you know, on a track. But yet when you're speeding up or slowing down, you will hear the Fratzonic give you a sound accordingly. So hopefully you liked this video. Please click the like sign below, and we'll see you again in the next one. Thank you.